What's up, guys? Tim in the North back with some more Age of Empire 2 ranked matches. I want to start off by wishing everybody a happy new year. I am recording this at the time of 1/4/2025. I got a few more in the chamber before this one releases, so you'll probably get it a few weeks into January. But anyway, I have my opponent here, 2K. They're certainly from another country. There's a little bit of a language barrier later on in the match, but yeah, this was an interesting one. I've been focused a little bit more on trying to do a build order. So after spending most of the day yesterday practicing this build order, I figured I'd try it in ranked matches, and boy was it a bit of a doozy. So yeah, 6 on food, sending 2 to wood. My opponent is 6 and has at least sent 2 to wood. This is a scout rush for few. This villager comes out and was supposed to go to a boar. This is actually my first match of the day too. I probably should have done like some warm up against the AI or something, but next villager comes out, directed towards berries. I'm gonna make a house though. So boar execution there. Didn't lose too much health on this vill, but he is standing there, not doing anything. That was quite a bit of idle time. Also, me trying to think too much about the build order has caused my town center to idle. This vill is not supposed to come out here to berries. They're supposed to go to boar. Also, I was bringing the hunt in. That's a pretty good placement of that. Little cramped, but pretty good. Probably should have been showing that. Sorry, I was looking too much at the vills and their assignments. I am trying to lure in the hunt here. I haven't found these sheep, and that's why I'm sending the scout over in that direction. I think if we, yeah, see, I haven't exactly identified them. There they are. So yeah, just wanted to try to see if I can find those while I'm, consuming this boar and bringing in another boar. So a little bit of multitasking. My opponent has opted for 3 on wood, 9 on food. So dedicating one more to wood than I did. Bringing in a boar, little far away from the TC, but overall there's not gonna be any bumping here, except for maybe this line of villagers. Also, I've invested into Capture Age Pro, so I got a little bit more metrics and I get to see APM. So a couple of the videos recently have done really well, getting upwards in views. So I thank you all for taking the time to watch, and some of the comments that have been left, so I appreciate that. So hopefully 2025 brings more AoE content. I'm hoping to improve. I have hit 1K ELO, and I wanted to upload that match, but it was actually kind of sad. Clearly a newer player, and when I was going into like raid them, I seen that both boars were still there. So I tried to like offer some advice into that match at the end, but that's how I hit my 1,000. I wanted to upload it, but I didn't want to do that. So, but yeah, I brought in two of the hunt. I didn't want to get too greedy. I wanted to start scouting my opponent and figure out where they were, because I have clicked up to feudal age here. My opponent is about to click up, getting loom. So yeah, pretty good on food right now. Should have enough to get a few scouts out onto the board here. But the problem that I had here was way too much idled. Just trying to think about the build order. Really needs to become, second nature in really far away. Oh, no, they got it in there. Got it in there. All right. really needs to become second nature with doing the build order, so this way you can actually focus on, you know, making sure you're queuing build. But also that should probably become second nature, right? Also, I'm a little nervous with this matchup as well, because the Magyars do get the free damage upgrades for melee units. So I have that in mind. Franks, I know that I have to lean into, you know, my economy bonuses, because I'll get those free, which is nice. So still just kind of scouting around. I know where my opponent is. Obviously, I just walked out of their base. I just kind of want to see what buildings are going to be coming up at this stage of the game. So immediately, I don't have enough wood, so I'm trying to force villagers to get wood in right here. That's also why I'm not queuing a villager again. Okay. So 2 are going to build the first stable here. Mean to run that off like that. Grab double bed axe, and I finally queued up some villagers. Yeah. My opponent has already dropped their barracks. Don't see any stables coming in just yet. I have queued up two cavalry, scout cabs. Again, falling off with villager production, ultimately gonna kill me in the long run, right? That's not good. I've fallen behind on resources collected. My opponent has done a much better job at getting villagers out on the board. Sorry, brain fart there. Also opting for wheelbarrow pretty early. That's good. No, 23 vills is solid. That's fine. I wanted to send, like I said, I'm concerned about the damage upgrade, so I did produce a spearman to go along with my setup here. I do have 3 scouts. I wanted to group them together, so this is the starting scout. Wanted to get them over there, and then click select all. I got out here, so by the time they had gotten over there, early pressure coming. That's the objective of this build order, is to get pressure early. And personally, my opinion with you know, I have favorable matchup there, not in terms of units but numbers. Personally, I think what's good with scouts is it pressures opponents off of eco for the most part. Look at all this on wood. They don't want any part of this, right? But not necessarily like an easy kill rush, because you know, I'm gonna get some kills here, but you know, you get attacked in the process if you're going after a mass. Whereas like archers, for example, usually they get more kills, but they're also more fragile, right? So it's a little bit selected everything there and sent it. As you can see, I'm not producing villagers again. I wanted to get on this hill, take out that scout, just to force my opponent to have to make more scouts. So yeah, they ended up coming back around to my stable here, took out another scout. But worker efficiency, you see my opponent's down to 28. This is like the next best thing to getting kills, right? Because if villagers aren't efficiently working, you're slowing them down at some capacity. But as I've said, well, I have a vill lead right now, right? But it's not because I'm queuing vills. It's because I'm killing vills, where I could have really doubled down into this and extended this lead early on if I would have had more vills in the queue in advance. But also I've just done a poor job at executing my economy at this point. I fell off berries and wasn't paying attention for a little bit. Have a large surplus of wood, which is good to get farms down. But yeah, a little bit of just me stalling here. I know that I can't take this with the the scouts. So like I said, the next best thing is that these are not gathering resources. This is 10 vills, which is almost half of their economy production. Two on gold. So this is really slowing down the next set of farms that have to come out. You know, it's just the right approach, and also just putting buildings down. They're still behind one building. I'm just a mess over here, trying to get buildings down. Like this house should be over here or back here, but just forcing the opponent to have to keep moving vills around, right? That's the nature of the game here. Don't always need to get kills, but if you're not getting kills, or if you are getting kills, you should always be keeping vills in queue, because this has just been bad for me. 5 minutes and 25 seconds of idle TC time. There's almost a 500 point difference early game, which is, you know, pretty big, I would say, for early game. Obviously, it's not like ready to call the GG, but it, you know, the scale is significantly different early game. Want to keep them off gold. Obviously, I don't know how much gold they have, but they have more than enough gold for go to the next stage at this point. I finally started to finish this walling here. Not necessarily on that side, but I'm floating. I'm floating 1400 wood. Don't show any professional coaches of AoE that, because I'll get yelled at for it for sure. Absolutely should have put a market down and pretty much bought Castle Age, right? With all the food I could have gotten. But yeah, this is... I knew I was getting value out of this, you know, the idling and moving around. I just kind of try and have fun with it. What is the APM? My opponent's definitely got more APM trying to move units around. And I eventually kind of restabilize here. I'm getting the walls in. Sorry, I probably made everyone nauseous with that. Nobody on stone, just 2 wood lines. Totally should have had more on food at this point, though. Shame on me. If I would have put more farms down, I probably could have keep producing a little bit more scouts to torment. But I also want to get up to Castle Age at this point. I feel like I've done my damage with, you know, idling the eco. I don't think I'm that. I can't even remember what color they were. They were yellow. So yeah, just you know, I'm gonna sacrifice these at this point. I want to get back home and, you know, put my attention here, because I should have much more on food. See, I think I click and send everybody at some point. I think I take a Vill out. Yeah, I took a Vill out of queue, 800, and we're gonna put in for Castle Age. Good amount of gold stocked up. This way I can get some knights onto the fields. Yeah, I just took this palisade wall down, and I'm gonna drop another stable here just to get more knights out at one time. There's an overchop here, and with that overchop, I did want to send one villager out here to produce an archery range. Nothing. I'm not pivoting into ranged units because I obviously just dropped a stable here. But if I can take care of anything on the spearmen that my opponent has with, you know, knights on the field, that'd be great, right? Opponent's trying to finish up walling here. They've had enough of my shit at this point. Still no mining camp. And I want to say that's probably because of how much I harassed these villagers off of wood. They just did not have wood coming in for a good bit of time. Whereas I probably could have shared what my stockpile. Forget what I did with this village. Oh yeah, that's right. As annoying as as towers are, I figured, hey, I'm not actually gonna get one up, but if I can harass these people and get them off the wood a little bit quicker, that would be beneficial to my cause. I still have not finished walling, but I am into Castle Age. Immediately queue up 5 knights. I have a small villager lead. My opponent drops a town center there at the same time I dropped this. Immediately take that palisade down, and they're coming after my vill. They're like, no way, we're not doing this. And like I said, it was more so just to be a nuisance here and get more idle eco, if possible. And hey, if the tower went up, that's something that's got to be addressed, right? So I immediately click this vill back, and I bring up some knights, and we're gonna see some more idle TC time by me here. 6 minutes I'm up to. So this 2 vills, it's free kills. I probably should have kept this closer instead of trying to go back and put the tower back up. But it drew attention, and that's kind of what the goal was here. I do have some knights that I sent forward. They're gonna attack. I thought I clicked the palisade wall, but I must have clicked the house. They're not close to being house, so the palisade wall would have been a much quicker entry for sure. These knights took care of... Did they take care of that other? No, I think he just ran around. But yeah, plenty of knights here. I wanted to get... I didn't want to go archers just yet. I was gonna try producing some of these skirms to take care of the what were spearmans at this time, but now there's pikemen out on the field, so not super favorable for me, because like I said, they get the damage upgrades for free, so they are very sharp Pokeballs. Town center's here, so now it's a much quicker drop off, but that's a lot on gold. 13. So just gonna try to, you know, harass some vills. Again, nothing going on out here. Just gotta keep the eco really messed up. My eco is just a mess because I'm poor at maintaining it. But I am getting some units out on the field here. I definitely could have used more on gold. Definitely didn't need 22 on wood. So definitely takes from this game for me. Not giving up on eco and just thinking I could, you know, pressure my opponent to death, because this opponent did not waver in the deficit of almost 700, right? Thinking back too, if I was going to put this much attention, on pressure, I would not have merged these 2 armies. Would have kept, you know, this team over here on this side and this one over here, because this can only go so many ways, right? They're trash units, and except for the two knights. But again, not a good engagement here. I thought maybe I could just clean this up. I could overwhelm the pikemen, but I didn't really have more in queue because I've done a poor job at managing my eco. You see I switched to archers here, again, because I didn't have my eco balanced out. I couldn't grab crossbowmen. But we're going for the idle in my opponent again. So clearly the numbers not really in my favor. These are not light cavalry, they're still scouts. I forgot about these 2 knights that were sitting out here. They've been out here for a little bit. Eco's still really not good for me. 29 on wood. I'm not making archers, but I am finally dropping my second town center. So that's beneficial. So all these guys on wood, all these on wood over here. So just poor balancing for me. This monk is converted at least 2, or maybe this monk also contributed, I don't know. So I've given up on pressuring at this point. I'm in my mind, I'm like, I should have a eco lead, so if I just try to mass a little bit and then do another push later, I should be good, right? But these vills are going to be a problem for me soon. They're chopping wood that's about to run out, and that's gonna be a problem second here. But as you see, pushing units out front. I must have set my marker for the archery range over here, and that's why this archer's walking all the way out to his death. You're not a god, buddy. Waste of gold, which I really shouldn't be sacrificing at this point. I did manage to throw more on gold finally. I think I set the marker here. You're gonna see this gets really crowded. 6 minutes and 11 seconds for idle TC. My opponent has 9 minutes, but that's also because they scout a lot faster with this town center being added to the mix, so it'll go up faster, along with mine. So here's that hole I was talking about earlier, a little bit of foreshadowing. This so they had two or one eco kills, and this is just gonna shoot up at this point. This is gonna be bad for me. I sent these guys here to protect the hole. I don't know where I think I wanted to send these forward to see if I could bring some attention back, but my knights are not enough for this. So we started at what, 2, and now already up to 6. I set this marker back here, but I didn't I guess I didn't click these on the units. I was just clicking around too fast in a panic. Yeah, this is all exposed back here. So this is not going to be good. So I've fallen behind on vills. I'm also idled now. I think I end up dropping a house here. I'm like, if I can protect the wood vills, because, you know, I need all that extra wood. We got a shot here. I sent two more knights back here. I think I eventually set the mark. Yeah, I accidentally. Yeah, you can tell I'm panicking. I have a man in arms out here. Vil barely survives. Got a light cav out here. I just sent him the gold. Just if I could pull the knights here and then clean this up, which is what happens. I did make sure that these spearmen were over here to watch this hole in case somebody else wanted to try to run through and leave it as more of a trap. But yeah, the attention is now going to be back onto trying to rebalance my economy here. Only 20 on food. Should be a little bit higher with what I've been trying to do here. 11 on gold. These guys are on wood. That's all that town center is there for. I did select all military units and send them to this point just to make sure I got blocked. Gonna throw down a monastery. See if I can start gathering some of the relics. Any more gold income is certainly helpful. And obviously we see that I've moved to crossbows, and that's because I'm worried about the number of pikemen that my opponent probably has, especially since they get the free damage upgrades. So I figured some attention here is good, but I'll send the knights over to here. They'll take down a palisade wall pretty quickly. I've also just opted to go to pikemen myself, just because I know that, with the oh my god, I'm so bad with this mouse. With the Magyars, my opponent's going to want to go with knights as well. Some idle eco over here for me. Yeah, right here. I built a house. Nothing's really going on here. My opponent is going to keep dropping buildings, but hey, getting them to spend wood is good, I guess, right? A little blue box just appeared down here. I want to drop a a siege workshop right here. So this way I can pressure my opponent from this side. However, I don't know that this exists yet, right? So I figured, you know, if I could drag attention over here, you know, just a little bit. They're investing in a castle over here to protect this. What better than an attack from the other side with siege? So I felt like it was a good move. It's not a bad move, right? Really, siege needed to come out. Did you get this? No. Siege needed to come out sooner. I am dropping a town center here. My opponent is trying to get some units on the board. I guess they gathered everybody here. They want to go after this, or they're keeping an eye on the wood line here. I do get this siege workshop down and immediately queue up 2 rams. I think when I first click this, I set the rally point here to the gate just to enter their base. I still don't know that all this exists. I kind of forgot about these vills, and then I'm like, hey, I might as well drop a town center somewhere close by. And now my opponent's raiding this town center, and this really wasn't a great town center for me. It was just something to get more villagers out onto the board faster. Okay, so now I know that this all exists, right? Because my ram finally came out to attack this palisade wall, and my opponents sent villagers to defend that. I had some spearmen from the first raid on my base in my main home, and I sent them over here to deal with this. They didn't want to invest those knights into that, so that's fine. That works for me, right? Still attacking this house. This isn't being addressed yet, so that's nice. I did send some knights down here because I seen that my ram had gotten cleaned up. So this is an absolute mess at this point. I definitely lose control as to what's happening. I've also lost control of the score lead at this point. My opponent has a Vill lead. They're in Imperial Age. I think, you know, I probably could have prioritized Imperial Age as well, but I felt like I could still, you know, really get some damage in here with my Castle Age units. And as you see, I'm getting more kills over here, cleaning this up. And that's largely because my opponent has focused on dropping a forward castle right here, which would be in the range of 2 town centers, which is pretty good, right? But as soon as my opponent gets here to drop this castle, I send some units here, and my opponent calls the GG. And it's not because, allegedly, it's not because they thought they were losing. It's because they had to go to work. In the post-game chat, they told me they had to go to work, but I don't. If this went on for much longer, I'm not sure. I'm not sure my opponent wins this one. They gotta ram out themselves onto my siege workshop. There was a knight here to deal with the 2 rams that I had. This one's just over 50% health, but this town center is in rough shape. I had this raid going on here. I got up to 30 eco kills. These guys did a lot of damage on the wood line. There were 7 vills in that town center. I did manage to pull a villager lead here at the very end. My opponent did not have any trebs in the queue. Wood was going to be a problem for them. It says 0 now. They obviously had some on wood, but you know, I have what, 4 town centers down. This castle was going to be denied. There were 8 vills. I had 5 light cav, 1 vill over here, and a knight. This was going to be rejected. Even at 50%, this was not going up. I still had some pikemen out here. I had plenty of resources in the bank to get more knights out because I was not really thinking about Imperial Age. I felt like I had enough pressure to do my damage here. But yeah, it was a good match overall. First one I'm reviewing with Capture Age Pro. It's been nice having some extra metrics to look at. My APM I've been able to start looking at as well. So 34. I'm not even sure what a good number is, but yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you all again. Wish everyone a happy new year. Much better year, hopefully, for everybody than the previous year. We always look for better. With that, I must depart. So thank you all. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment if you're feeling generous. So thanks, everyone. Peace.